Morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. Morning. So let us continue with what we had been discussing yesterday. Yesterday we were talking about the skills of writing skills, how to write well, what are the important skills that we require when writing. So these were the things that we were discussing yesterday. We also saw a paragraph which had many kinds of writing errors, and we also corrected the paragraph. And today there is one more important thing about writing that we have to discuss. It is called linkers. Linkers are also called connectors. They are also called discourse markers. These are all the same thing. So they help to, as their name indicate, linker or connector. They help to link or they help to connect the idea in one sentence to another, or the idea in one paragraph to another. So it brings about an organized structure. It brings about an organized structure into the writing. So the writing is easily readable, becomes readable. വായിക്കാൻ ഒഴുക്കുണ്ടാവും. അതാണ് ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള കണക്റ്റേഴ്സ് അഥവാ ലിങ്കേഴ്സ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത് കൊണ്ടുള്ള ഗുണം. So let us look at what are the linkers, what are the different kinds of linkers that we have, and what are the purposes. So each kind of linker has a particular purpose. So let us see what are their purposes. So here we have certain linkers. Given below are certain words or linkers that make your writing more effective. So the purpose is that they make our writing more effective. So what we have to do is we have to classify into the following heads. That is, there are different purposes. The purposes are listed as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 different aims. ലക്ഷ്യം. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ലിങ്കേഴ്സ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത്, പലതരത്തിലുള്ള ലിങ്കേഴ്സ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത് പല ആവശ്യങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടിയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ഈ കുറേ ലിങ്കേഴ്സ് അവിടെ ബോക്സിൽ ലിസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിനെ ഈ കാറ്റഗറീസിൽ നമ്മൾ എടുത്ത് എഴുതണം. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, the first purpose is adding information. So one example given is as well as. Okay, so that is one reason. So one type of linker. Another type of linker is telling about the result. Okay, another linker has the purpose of giving reason. The fourth type of linker is telling the sequence. Sequence പറഞ്ഞാൽ order 1, 2, 3, 4 എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അങ്ങനെ order based ആയിട്ടുള്ളതിനെയാണ് sequencing എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. The fifth one is to give examples. And the last one is to make comparisons and contrast. So adding information, I will give you one more example. Adding information, add എന്നുള്ള വാക്കുള്ള വേറൊരു ലിങ്കർ അതിനകത്ത് തന്നെ ഉണ്ട്.
In addition to.
Yes, Surya, that is right. In addition to. So that is also a linker. Yes, Rishma, in addition to. So അതിനെ നമ്മൾ സെൻറ്റൻസിൽ ഉപയോഗിക്കുമ്പോൾ you can say the above information is as well as important as the next information that we are going to give. അപ്പോൾ അതിനൊരു കണക്റ്റിംഗ് പേർപ്പസ് അവിടെ യൂസ് ചെയ്യും. For example, you can also say, suppose there are 2 sentences. John lives in Thrissur, Jacob lives in Thrissur. So I can connect those two ideas together using as well as John as well as Jacob live in Thrissur. So it has this purpose of adding the information in two different sentences into one single sentence. So the next linker, in addition to, I can also use it in a sentence. Can you give an example of using in addition to in a sentence? Very simple examples can be given. In addition to എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ കൂട്ടിച്ചേർക്കുക എന്നുള്ള അർത്ഥം തന്നെയാണ്. The doctor will uh, take care of the patient in addition to giving medicines. Type it here. You can also type some examples. The doctor will take care of the patient in addition to giving medicines. Okay? Medicine. These are some examples that you can give. Okay, the next linker is telling about the result. Telling about the result. Result എന്നുള്ളത് തന്നെ ഉണ്ട്.
As a result of.
Exactly, Dia. As a result of. So the can you give an example? Very nice, Raji Lakshmi. Wonderful example. Rivers were polluted as a result of waste dumping. Very nice. Beautiful example. You can also use another one to give a result. ഒരെണ്ണം കൊണ്ടുണ്ട് റിസൾട്ടിനെ കുറിച്ച് പറയുന്നത്. That is why എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് റിസൾട്ടാണ്. That is why is a kind of linker which talks about result. Some example, can anyone give an example? That is why. It's a very simple linker. You can use in any kind of sentence. That is why. You can also use two sentences like this. So the idea in the first sentence is connected to the idea in the second sentence. Okay, it is not required that you write a single sentence. You can also write two sentences. So the linker, that is why, connects the idea in the second sentence to the first sentence. So this idea in the first sentence is connected to the idea in the second sentence. Buses were not operating. That is why I was late. Okay, the next one is giving reason. Giving reason is also very easy.
Because.
ബിക്കോസ് ഉണ്ട് അതിൽ. യെസ്, എസ് രാജലക്ഷ്മി, ഷീ ഈസ് നോട്ട് വെൽ ബിക്കോസ് ഓഫ് ദ ഫീവർ. ബിക്കോസ് ഉണ്ട്, പിന്നെ ഒരുപാടുണ്ട് അതിൽ. റീസൺ പറയുന്നത് ധാരാളം ഉണ്ട്. വേറെ ഏതൊക്കെയാണ് റീസൺ പറയുന്നത്?
Since.
സിൻസ്, യെസ് സൂര്യ, സിൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. ബിക്കോസ്, സിൻസ് എല്ലാം സെയിം മീനിങ് ആണ്. ദെയർ ഫോർ, കോൺസിക്വൻ്റ്ലി, കോൺസിക്വൻ്റ്ലിയും അതേ മീനിങ് ആണ്. റീസൺ പറയുന്നതാണ് കോൺസിക്വൻ്റ്ലി. Okay, so we have some one example here. She is not well because of the fever. So that's a very good example. You can also find examples for the write similar examples with the other ones. That is, since. I was hungry since I did not eat in the morning. I was hungry because since I did not eat in the morning. Since and because have the same meaning. Therefore can also be used. He did not secure the minimum marks. Therefore, he failed in the examination. He failed in the examination. Consequently, he did not get the job. He failed in the test. Consequently, reason, consequently, he did not get selected. Okay, giving reason. Okay, telling sequence. Sequence means the order of doing things. Sequence, order. Sequencing, we have many linkers are there in the box. Which are the sequencing linkers? Yes, Krishna, first. Yes, Krishna, first. Firstly, second, after that, next, subsequently. Okay, all these things. ഇതെല്ലാം sequencing ആണ്. First, firstly, second, after that, next, subsequently, etc. When you write, first, I would like to point out that the nature is affected because of pollution. Secondly, the pollution is caused by human beings. After that, we have to focus. So there is a connection between the sentences. എല്ലാം സെപ്പറേറ്റ് സെൻറ്റൻസസ് ആണ്, പക്ഷേ ഈ സെപ്പറേറ്റ് സെൻറ്റൻസസിനെ കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള സീക്വൻസിങ് ലിങ്കേഴ്സ് കൊണ്ട് സാധിക്കും. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മളൊരു ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ലുക്ക് ആസ് ഇഫ് we have organized our ideas. So these sequencing linkers are a very good tool for connecting the ideas that you write in a paragraph. Okay, giving examples. Which are the linkers?
For example.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, Rajlakshmi. Yes, Surya. That is correct. For example. Yes.
Since.
For instance. For instance is also correct. Yes. For instance. For example. So they are used for giving examples. So how do we use it in a sentence? The destruction of the ozone layer is dangerous. For example, it can release dangerous rays into the atmosphere. The destruction of the ozone layer is dangerous because it can release harmful rays into the atmosphere. So that is an example. For example, the destruction of the ozone layer releases harmful rays into the atmosphere. So pollution of the atmosphere uh, is not useful to the human being. For example, we can give many number of examples. Well, then, for instance, also has the same meaning. Many species are now on the verge of extinction. For instance, the number of tigers in our country is getting reduced year by year. So here you can also use for instance. You can use it in two different sentences. Many species, I'll type it here, many species are now endangered. That is one sentence. The next sentence is, for instance, the tigers are fast. So that is also an example. So these are two different sentences, but the ideas in these two sentences are connected together by the connector or the linker. For instance, okay, the last example is making comparisons and contrast. Okay, yes, Krishna. Whereas, however, very good. Yes, Rajlakshmi. So, whereas, however,
Mm.
nevertheless, however has the same meaning. Yes, Rishma. Nevertheless and however have the same meaning. But also, yes. But. So they have the same meaning. However and nevertheless. രണ്ടും ഒരേ മീനിങ് ഉള്ള വാക്കുകളാണ്. Okay, these are the words which are used for making comparison. For example, you can give this one example. North India suffers from extreme cold, whereas the South suffers from extreme famine. So that is used for giving comparison. The North suffers from extreme cold, whereas the South is this is also used in a sentence. This is another example using however. I like to play badminton. However, I am not interested in cricket. So, what are the purpose of thinkers? So that is given in that box here. What are the purpose of thinkers? എന്തിനുവേണ്ടിയാണ് thinkers use ചെയ്യുന്നത്? Thinkers are used. The purpose of thinkers is to what is the purpose? Exactly, to connect two sentences, to connect two ideas. Sometimes it may be two sentences, sometimes it may be within the sentence itself. Yes, that is correct. So it may not be always between two different sentences. It can be even within a sentence. There may be two ideas inside a sentence which are connected together using a linker. So linkers can be used to connect sentences. Linkers can also be used to connect ideas within a single sentence also. So the benefit of linkers is that it provides a flow the reading. The reader finds it easier to understand the ideas expressed by the writer. If we use linkers properly, it is easier for the reader to understand the ideas that we have expressed. So it is very important to use the right linkers. So how do we understand which are the writing linkers? We have such categories. So some linkers are used to add information. Some linkers can be used to tell about the result. Some linkers to give reason. Some linkers to put things in the correct sequence, in the correct order. Some linkers can be used to give examples, and some other linkers can be used to compare and contrast ideas. So, depending on the purpose, depending on the need of the situation, we have to use these different linkers. So, I think it is very clear to you. So, we move on to the next topic, which is yes, this is about the paragraph that we discussed yesterday. Are the spellings correct? For example, there was a spelling sentence which was wrongly typed in that paragraph. So we had corrected that spelling. That was the only spelling error that we found in that paragraph. All the other spellings in that paragraph were correct. And also we also have to use simple words instead of difficult words. For example, baffling has the same meaning as confusing. Why not use a simple word of confusing instead of baffling? So simplicity. So we also discussed that there are three major qualities that is required when you write paragraph. So simplicity. Which are the other two? Simplicity is a very important quality that is required. There are three qualities that we discussed yesterday. Anybody remembers the other two? One begins with C and the other begins with B. Very nice. Very
Brevity.
good. Yeah, that is right. It is one. Yes, Rishma, that is correct. It is one is clarity, the other is brevity. As he has said, it is brevity. So yes, Rishma. So it is brevity. So simplicity, clarity, and brevity. These are the three qualities that are required when we write. So we should use simple words so that the reader is able to understand the ideas that we have expressed properly. Okay, that's all about writing skills. So then now we move on to the next topic, which is the next core text in the first module. It is titled Jeremy's First Hunt by a person, a writer called Arthur Gordon. It is a story. It is titled Jeremy's First Hunt by Arthur Gordon. Arthur Gordon. So he is a writer, is an American writer who lived from 1912 to 2002. He has written about 14 books. Some of the titles are given there: A Touch of Wonder, Return to Wonder, and a song called Hope. He was also the editor. He was also the former editor of Good Housekeeping, Cosmopolitan, and Guidepost magazines. These are the names of magazines. He has also contributed to publications as Reader's Digest. Reader's Digest is a very popular publication even in India. Esquire, Collier's, Saturday Evening Post, McCall's, and Redbook. Gordon was perhaps best known locally for A Touch of Wonder, a collection of descriptive essays on family and life along the Georgia coast. Jeremy's First Hunt is taken from his 1983 collection of stories titled Through Many Windows. So this is actually a story, very touching story. So we have different kinds of stories. This is a very touching story of a father and a son, which talks about the relationship between the father and the son. And before we begin that story, I'll just give you an idea of what you have to expect from the story. It is a story of a father who is an expert hunter. You know who a hunter is? Yes, you know who a hunter is? Exactly,
വേട്ടക്കാരൻ.
yes. Yes, Trishna, yes, Trishna, that's correct. Vetakarna. So he has a gun, he shoots birds mostly, and that is how he lives. So, in such professions, what these people usually do is they train their children also in the same profession so that the family continues the tradition. That is how it happens in many tribes, many families, many communities, that the son, the child is also trained in the same profession as the parent, so that there is a continuity that happens in the family. So the story here is that this father who is a hunter, he is trying to bring his son also into the same profession of hunting. അച്ഛൻ വേട്ടക്കാരനാണ്, മകനെയും അതുപോലെ വേട്ടക്കാരനാക്കണമെന്നാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ആഗ്രഹം. So he trains his child, and when the story begins, we see that he is going to take his son into his first experience of hunting a live creature. അപ്പോൾ അതുവരെ he has been trained in shooting at toys, but today he is going to for a real hunting. So that is where the story begins. Okay, I think I'll give you all an opportunity for reading. Maybe somebody who has not read so far, you can read. ആരൊക്കെങ്കിലും വായിക്കാം. Anybody can read the first paragraph. So this is what you have to read. Okay. Is it visible? കാണാമോ അത്?
ആ സർ കാണാം.
Okay, വായിച്ചു. Anybody can read. Please read. Switch on your mic and read. സ്വിച്ച് ഓൺ ചെയ്തോളൂ, മൈക്ക് ഓൺ ചെയ്ത് വായിച്ചോളൂ. എനിക്ക് നിങ്ങളെ അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല, നിങ്ങൾ സ്വയം അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത് വായിക്കണം. ഷുഡ് ഐ കോൾ ഔട്ട് യുവർ നെയിംസ്? പേര് വിളിക്കണോ? അങ്ങനെയാണോ നിങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യാറ്?
His father said,
യെസ്.
His father said, "All set, boy," and Jeremy nodded quickly, picking up his gun with awkward mittened hands. His father pushed open the door, and they went out into the freezing dawn together, leaving the snug security of the shack, the warmth of the kerosene stove, the companionable smell of bacon and coffee.
Yes, Krishna, thank you so much. So that is the beginning where they are going for hunting, and his father is asking, all such boy, are you ready? No, all such boy is asking his son, and nodding is a movement of the head. തലയാട്ടലാണ് nodding. So Jeremy is agreeing, yes, I am ready എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. When he is nodding, it means that he is ready. He picks up his gun with awkward mittened hands. Mittens are the kinds of uh, cloth gloves which you wear in your hands. Mittens. തുണി കൊണ്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഗ്ലൗസ് ആണ്, കയ്യിൽ തണുപ്പ് It is very cold there. The snowfall is there because it's a European country. So that you don't feel, so that the hands do not become numb, they wear what is known as mittens. Mittens എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒന്നുമില്ല, gloves ആണ്. It is made of cloth, woolen cloth. കുറച്ച് കട്ടിയുള്ള woolen cloth. So he is holding the gun in his hands with his mittened hands, and they are going out into the freezing dawn. What do you mean by dawn? Dawn എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താണ്? It is dawn. Dawn. Yes, dear, it is morning. പുലർക്കാലം അതാണ് morning. Yes, the dawn. So they go out into the freezing dawn. Udayam. Yes, that's it. So they leave the snug security. Snug means comfortable. സുഖകരമായ. So they live in a shack. അവരൊരു കൂരയിലാണ് ജീവിക്കുന്നത്. ഷാക്ക് ചെറിയ വീടെന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല, ഒരു കൂര. It may be made of a temporary roof and all. So that is where they live. Because they are not very rich people, they are hunters. So they live in a shack. And it is very comfortable inside because there is the warmth of the stove, the kerosene stove. And there is also the companionable smell. Companionable means comfortable. Something which makes you feel happy. Companion is a friend. So companionable means something which makes you feel happy. You always like the smell of good food, isn't it? So here he could smell the bacon. Bacon is a kind of meat, and coffee. So the smell of bacon and coffee, the smell of food makes you comfortable. So he is going out from this comfort. Who is going out? This boy is going out with his father from the comfort of the house into the discomfort of the freezing dawn outside the shack. ഉള്ളിലുള്ള സൗകര്യത്തിൽ നിന്ന് നമ്മൾ പുറത്തേക്ക് പോവുകയാണ്. So that is the first paragraph. Okay. Anyone else can read the next paragraph? Please read. Anyone can read, please read.
They stood for a moment in front of the shack, their breaths white in the icy air. Ahead of them was only the vast expanse of marsh and water and sky. Ordinarily, Jeremy would have asked his father to wait while he fussed around with his camera, trying to record the bleak arrangements of black and grey and silver. But not this morning. This was the morning solemn and sacred when 14-year-old Jeremy was to be initiated into the mystic rites of duck shooting.
Thank you, Dia, for reading that. So they are going out from the comfort of the shack, and as they stood for some time in front of the shack, their breath could be seen in the icy air. അപ്പം നമ്മൾ നല്ല മഞ്ഞുള്ള സമയത്ത് നമ്മൾ ബ്രീത്ത് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ ശ്വാസത്തിൽ കൂടെ ഈ വേപ്പർ പോകുന്നത് കാണാൻ പറ്റും. നമ്മൾ വല്ല തണുത്ത പ്രദേശത്തൊക്കെ പോയാൽ ഇത് ഒബ്സർവ് ചെയ്യും. മൂന്നാർ, ഊട്ടി, കൊടൈക്കനാൽ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള സ്ഥലത്തൊക്കെ പോയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ശ്വസിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഈ ഒരാൾ സ്മോക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്ന പോലെ ഉണ്ടോ, പുകവലിക്കുന്നത് പോലെ തോന്നും. So the breaths, so it is so cold there, the atmosphere is so cold there. So that is the idea that the writer is trying to say. The vast expanse. So what is visible in front of them? There is only a vast expanse of marsh. Marsh എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ചതുപ്പ് നിലമാണ്, ചതുപ്പ് നിലം. And then there is the water, that is the lake and sky. So normally, usually when he is going for training, today it is not training, he is going to shoot an actual bird. So this is the first time he is going to shoot an actual bird. Normally when he goes outside with his father, he would ask his father to wait because he loves to use his camera. He likes to take photographs. ചിത്രങ്ങൾ എടുക്കാൻ ഇഷ്ടമുള്ള ആളാണ് ഞാൻ. പടങ്ങൾ എടുക്കാൻ ഇഷ്ടമുള്ള. So he likes to use his camera, and so that is what he used to usually tell his father. Okay, I let me play around with my camera. So he used to fuss around with his camera. So there is a new term, fuss around. Fuss around എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ കുറച്ച് സമയം കളയാ, അത് വെച്ച് കളിച്ച് സമയം കളയാ. കാരണം അയാൾക്ക് കൂടുതൽ ഇഷ്ടം റൈഫിൾ കൊണ്ട് ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതിനേക്കാളും he likes to take photographs with his camera. Like we like to play games. So it's a kind of game that he plays. He tries to play games with his by taking photographs of the images that he sees around. അപ്പം പുലർച്ചെയുള്ള ചിത്രങ്ങളൊക്കെ എടുക്കാനൊക്കെ അയാൾക്ക് ഭയങ്കര ഇഷ്ടമാണ്. ബിക്കോസ് വട്ട് യു സീ ഇൻ ദ മോർണിംഗ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് വെരി ക്ലിയർ അല്ലേ. സോ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ബ്ലീക്ക്. സോ ബ്ലീക്ക് മീൻസ് സംതിങ് വിച്ച് ഇസ് നോട്ട് ക്ലിയർ. നമ്മൾ കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം ഒരു വാക്ക് പഠിച്ചിരുന്നു, വേഗ് എന്ന് ഒരു വാക്ക് പഠിച്ചിരുന്നു. മീൻസ് ഓൾ ദീസ് ഹാവ് ദ സെയിം മീനിങ്. ദേ ആർ ഓൾ ഹാവ് ദ സെയിം മീനിങ്. ബ്ലീക്ക്, വേഗ്, അൺക്ലിയർ. So they are all synonyms. Synonyms means words having meaning. Vague, vague, unclear. So they are all synonyms. Synonyms means words having similar meaning. So there are many, especially every photographer likes to take the pictures of morning, because mornings are very beautiful. If you have not observed it, please try to observe it. Get up very early in the morning, say around 5:30, 5:45, and just look at the sky. Anywhere from wherever you may be living, just look at the sky in the east direction. It is so wonderful. You can understand that. Then you understand the beauty, the wonder of living in this world. You suddenly you say, so beautiful. This world is so beautiful. You suddenly have a feeling that however depressed you may be, all your depression goes away. This is a technique which you can try. When you are feeling very depressed, get up very early in the morning and look up at the eastern sky where the sun is about to rise. Very long time before the sun rises, you will see the kind of colors, the kind of sky that turns out in the morning is so wonderful. So he likes to take photographs. Like all photographers, he also likes to take the photograph of the black and gray and silver colors that appear in the sky early in the morning. So this is what he usually does, but not this morning. ഇന്ന് അയാൾ അതൊന്നും ചെയ്യാൻ നിന്നില്ല. എന്താണ് കാരണം? വൈ? എല്ലാ ദിവസവും അച്ഛൻ്റെ കൂടെ ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിനൊക്കെ പോകുമ്പോൾ he used to take his camera and photographs ഒക്കെ എടുത്ത സമയങ്ങളായിരുന്നു. But not this morning. What is the peculiarity of this morning? ഈ മോർണിംഗിന്റെ പ്രത്യേകത എന്താണ്? Yes. What is the peculiarity? Yes, he is taking initiative. What is he going to do? He is going to take initiative. എന്തിന്റെ ഇനിഷ്യേഷൻ ആണ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോണത്? He is going to shoot a live. Yes, Rishma. So he is going to shoot a live bird. ശരിക്കും ജീവനുള്ളത് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് വേണം. ഇതുവരെ ഇയാൾ ട്രെയിനിങ് ആയിരുന്നു. So he has not shot anything so far. Any creature, he has not shot anything. He has only got training, and training is always done with toys and such things. വെറുതെ ഏതെങ്കിലും പോയിന്റ് കൊടുത്ത് അവിടെ ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുക, അങ്ങനെയുള്ളതാണ് ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിൽ ചെയ്യുക. So real life creatures he has never shot. So this is something very serious. So this was the morning, solemn and sacred. Solemn means serious, and sacred, pavitramayadu. So like exams, exam days are not ordinary days, isn't it? Exam days we have a different outlook on the day of exam. It is considered to be a very serious business. It is also sacred. So those people who never go to temples will go to temples. Those who have never gone to the church will go to the church. Those who have never prayed will pray. So these things happen because we consider that these days are not like ordinary days. So similarly for this boy, This morning, that is the morning that he is going to shoot the bird, the first creature, is a very sacred or very serious business. And how old is he? He is just 14-year old, and he is going. His name is Jeremy. He was going to be initiated. Initiate means initiate എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഫസ്റ്റ് അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് നടത്തുക. ഇനീഷ്യേഷൻ തുടങ്ങുക, തുടക്കം ചെയ്യുക. ഇനീഷ്യേറ്റഡ് ഇൻ ടു ദ മിസ്റ്റിക്, നിഗൂഢമായത് മിസ്റ്റിക് റൈറ്റ്സ്, ചടങ്ങ്. റൈറ്റ്, RITE, റൈറ്റ് മീൻസ് ചടങ്ങ്. It is pronounced as, it has the same pronunciation as RIGHT, but they have totally different meaning. RITE എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ചടങ്ങാണ്, RIGHT എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കറക്റ്റ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു സൈഡ്, റൈറ്റ് സൈഡ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്ന മീനിങ്. സോ ദേ ഹാവ് ടു ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് meanings but the same pronunciation. Different spelling, different pronunciation, different meaning. I mean the same pronunciation, different spelling and different meaning. Okay, so he was going to be initiated into the mystic rites of duck shooting. So what are they going to shoot? They are going to shoot ducks. So this is the introduction. From the introduction, you itself you understand that he has a kind of tension, he has a kind of strain on, because he is going to shoot a duck for the first time. He has never shot a real life duck so far. He has only shot as a trainee, as a student in hunting. So he has got a strain. Whether he will be successful or not, whether he will be able to shoot the duck properly, whether he will bring happiness to his father, because that is his father's dream. Like our parents have a dream. Our parents have a dream of making us successful in life. We also feel that we should try to make the dreams of our parents successful. So similarly, this is also the situation that this boy, 14-year-old Jeremy, is also in. So in the next class, we will surely look at what is going to happen and whether this boy becomes successful in making his father happy. So that's all for today. That's it. We stop for today. Thank you for joining. Have a nice day and goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.